to do something incredible here on the inside.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Squiers. Welcome to a new episode of Surfing Australia TV. We've got a great lineup ahead. Here's a taste of what's to come. We showcase Australia's top juniors, check out the best grassroots surfing in the country. We catch up with six-time world champion Stephanie Gilmore, longboard legend Harley Ingleby, and chat with injured WSL surfer Pete Durbidge. First up, and the biggest grassroots event in Australian surfing history, the Original Source Australian Boardriders Battle is underway. And for Event 7 of the National Series, we're heading to Phillip Island in Victoria to find out who will dominate. Check it out.
Pretty much owe everything to Boardriders. Basically the stepping stone to pretty much get anywhere you're surfing. You want to represent your team and get better with your surfing, and mate, it's massive. It was pretty tense. We just sort of held together and everyone just sort of did their job.
Competing in a team environment, there's a lot more pressure. It can be pretty intimidating. All the boys are so supportive and kind, and paddling out with all my friends, and from really young kids to really old mates that come and support me and cheer me on.
Surfing's really just individual sport usually, so to be able to come together as a team and all have a good crack and represent, it's such a good feeling. I mean, we've gone back to back now, which is massive for us. We're going to head to Cronulla and represent ourselves in Victoria, and yeah, it's huge for the growth of our club.
And you can find out more about these fantastic series at surfingaustralia.com. Now sit back and relax as we join six-time world champion Stephanie Gilmore, who shows us another side of her many talents.
Surfing is a really creative outlet, and so it sort of lets you cross over into other worlds, creative worlds, quite easily.
I think for me, a beautiful landscape or seeing something beautiful that I thought was really unique. You know, some people might walk past it, but there I would be seeing that moment, or, you know, seeing that beauty in that place and being able to capture that and then share that with someone else. I think that's the beauty of photography to me. Tell me, like, some of your other passions. You know, what else do you do outside of surfing?
Obviously photography, that's one. I love just taking photos around the world, and I feel like I'm always around, you know, great surfers and people who they're interesting to photograph, and the places I go are really cool. So I think it's so fitting that Nikon was keen to have me as an ambassador and make that thing work. So I love photographing the ocean. Like, there's just something about it, the way it always, I mean, it's forever changing, so the subject's always different. But yeah, I just swim out there with my little point and shoot, little AW1 or something, and I love just like getting the lip when it's all mutated or just, you know, really sparkling and beautiful. I love that kind of stuff. I like to keep things lighthearted. There's a time and place to be serious and focus and get into things, but at the end of the day, I just think that a smile goes a long way, you know, to leave that kind of a legacy. As opposed to breaking world records or whatever. I think it's more important that you leave a good impact on people and inspire people to just lead a healthier, happier life for themselves.
Stick around because after the break, we get our froth on with some of Australia's best groms and catch up with world longboard champion Harley Ingleby. Welcome back to Surfing Australia TV. Well, one of the biggest events for groms around the country is the Wahoo Surfer Groms Comps for under 8 to under 14 surfers. And we were on the Gold Coast as they took over the beaches.
So just down here at the Wahoo Surfer Groms Comp, down at the Spit, the grommers just love anything. Some good scores going down, some really impressive surfing.
The Wahoo Surfer Grom Comps. Yeah, it's fun. The waves are always pretty fun, and yeah, there's heaps of fun events like on the beach that everyone can do. Surf with all your friends and see everyone again. Everyone still has fun even if they win or lose.
So the kids get a lot of experience out of this Wahoo series. I mean, they get to surf against each other in a lot of maybe club contests, but this is a little bit of notch above again, and it's just a chance to get out and have a lot of fun, but also feel a little bit of seriousness out there as well.
And you can check out surfingaustralia.com for more on that great series. Now it's time to catch up with one of the most versatile surfers on the planet. He's a multiple world longboard champion, and put any craft under his feet, he'll be just as stylish. Here's Harley Ingleby.
My dad made me my first couple of boards. He's always been collecting old boards from all eras since I was 1 or 2 years old. So I literally grew up under a big collection of old boards. I don't think I had much choice, really, whether I was going to be a surfer or not. I've always ridden absolutely everything since I was really little. Short and long, everything in between, and even finless boards, stuff like that. I think it's made me a lot better surfer. Just kept me keen, being able to ride all kinds of different equipment. Yeah, kept my surfing fresh. Life's been ultra busy for me lately, which is good. Working with FCS really closely. I've always done that since I was really young. Working for GoPro as a sales rep, plus also shooting everyday content for them as one of their athletes. Having a surf school and being able to be a part of the next generation of kids coming through, part of that whole pathway at home, really. I've really liked trying to work on all sides of my longboarding, but in particular, try and develop a fin set that could really sort of go next level with performance longboarding. Just with the way design and the refinement of the rails and everything like that, I found I didn't need as much area, so the way my new set is just shrunken everything down a little bit more, just a little bit more refined in the tip. And also the adaptability of having a quad set in the range too, which is unreal for when the waves are quite good and hollow, so I love the quad set. The performance attributes I look for in a fin, just getting that really good balance of having a lot of drive and a lot of hold, but then also still having a smaller tip so you can get some nice release off the top. Having an all toolless fin set, I'm just getting more out of my boards more often because we'll make that change right before a session if the conditions look like, I should have a quad set in or the bigger back fin. Before, you'd be like, oh, should I change my fins? And even though screwing in a couple of grub screws was pretty easy, just snapping fins in and out and chopping and changing in like 10 seconds, I just find I do it more often and I'm getting more out of my boards. My new FCS2 thruster set and quad sets, they're all PC, all toolless. The PC construction's so light and just got really good flex. I think it's the best construction for performance fins in my opinion. It was an unbelievable feeling winning my second world title in China last year. So stoked to have the prototypes of my new toolless longboard fins over there. I had 2 different sizes of back fin. I was riding just the straight thruster set to start off with. Right before my first heat, I swapped it straight out for the slightly bigger, the 5.5-inch back fin, which just gave me that bit more better hold in the windy conditions. And it was unreal just to be able to make that decision and be able to change super quick right before my heat.
And if you want to see more of Harley, check out mysurf.tv. We'll stay around. We have plenty more coming up after the break. Junior surfing in Australia is running a huge wave of support for the Subway Surf Series, and we're off to the Gold Coast for the first round of the Subway Pro Junior.
Yeah, it's good to have like a full series this year, and there's a lot of good kids in Australia, so it'll be a good series.
Awesome to see that, you know, Subway come on board and do a whole Subway Surf Series on a junior level and a pro junior level, and also, you know, it's really shortened the gap between QS and to the WCT, and then beyond that, you know, it's a real good stepping stone. You know, I used to love surfing pro junior events. You know, not only, I guess, your friendships you make at, you know, from grassroots level, but all the way through. It's just great to see, and the quality of surfing that you get to see nowadays is probably a lot better than what we were. The next few years, these guys will thrive out of this series.
Now here's some great footage from the team at mysurf.tv, who are always going the extra yard to get the best surfing stories from around the world. Let's check out some of their work. Don't go anywhere, because coming up after the break, we're heading to the beautiful south coast of New South Wales and catch up with WSL surfer Pete Durbidge. Great to have you with us. Well, earlier in the show, we were in Victoria for the original Source Australian Boardriders battle. Now it's time to head to Kiama in New South Wales to find out who is the top club.
Well, welcome back to the original Source Australian Boardriders battle. This is the Southern New South Wales instalment of 12 Boardriders, all contesting for 2 positions to make the national final for Australia Day long weekend. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a big, bright affair and a big battle. Check out the action.
You know, it's all for nothing if we don't, if you don't go through. You know, the results last year can, you know, we're not going to put it up on a mantle and go to sleep now. We've got to get there, and it'll mean everything if we can get through and go back to the finals and bring the town with us.
To make it to the finals, yeah, it'd be really good. It's at Cronulla, which is our home break. Have everyone down there and all that, yeah, it'd be sick. Everyone's ripping. Yeah, there's like so many guys who surf so good that you just don't even know about. So yeah, it's really good to see.
Never got a 10 in my life, then got a 10 in the first heat, then they throw down to 9.9. I was like, oh, I'm going to go out in this heat and just have the biggest melt. And then I got that one there and I was stoked. Oh, it's just sick to do well just for them, like for the boys and that.
We're based in Bali these days. I shape boards there and I shape boards back here in Wollongong. And it was good. We got the call up to come back. We come back monthly and we timed it with this the Boardriders battle. So yeah, we're stoked to be here and surf for the team.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and like, you know, our Tyler Wrights in there, it was pretty cool to like see us surf, and like all the people I know here, it was cool.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity to surf against Tyler Wright, to push yourself and become a better surfer, and all the boys too, because they're ripping.
The format of this event is really good. You know, you're allowed CT surfers in it, QS surfers. Brings up the spirit. You know, everyone gets psyched to watch a heat, but you don't just leave the beach. Like, stay and watch other people surf.
It was so good just to have everyone here today as a team, and just such an amazing day of waves too, you know. Everyone to kind of surf to their ability, and us to show everyone that, yeah, we're here, we can surf as good as anyone, you know, so pumped. You always watch it, you always want to be there, and we're going to be there.
Now finally, the team at mysurf.tv caught up with the Gold Coast speed Durbridge, who suffered a major injury at Pipeline. Well, he's back home, working hard on rehab, and still stoking out the groms.
I had a bit on the line. I was coming 11th and really wanted to make the top 10. That was my goal this year. I was surfing against Counter, seeing good mate, and got absolutely smashed in round 3. First wave, absolutely pole driven into the reef, and yeah, fractured my pelvis, and yeah, it was heavy actually. Yeah, just underwater, I was freaking out. I was going to be a paraplegic. Just when I hit so hard, and all my legs went numb and just shooting pain, and I was just like, oh no. God, like I'm going to be a paraplegic, and I wriggled my toes, and I was just like, oh, thank God. And I was just happy with that. And underwater, still getting thrashed around, I could feel like my midsection was loose and just wobbly, and I knew I'd broken something. So when I came up, I put my hand straight up, and I had to cop another wave on the head, and then the jet ski came in and got me, luckily. And when I got back on the ski, that's kind of when the pain kicked in. I guess your body's crazy how it was just like in survival mode till I knew I was safe. Yeah, when the pain kicked in, it was definitely the worst pain I've ever had. They diagnosed me really quickly, which is lucky because I had an open book pelvic fracture. They put a belt around me to close it up because I could feel I was bleeding out, and it was super hot on my stomach, and your pelvis holds a lot of blood, so it was bleeding out. And luckily they put that belt on me because that's how you can die. I was in so much pain, I was just like, give me the green whistle, give me the green whistle. In America, they didn't know what it was and thought I was crazy or something, and they couldn't give me anything, and I was tripping out, and I just had to go into my breathing, and luckily my wife was there, and she was just like, you'll be all right, babe, you'll be all right. And so I was just going through my breathing, but super grateful to have
good people on the beach and that knew what they were doing. Yeah, here at the High Performance Centre every year I'm fortunate enough to have the Be Durbage camp, and some of the kids are just doing it for fun. Some want to get better at surfing and to go on and be a pro surfer, but at the end of the day they're all just having a great time with their mates and meeting other kids from around the country and getting good tips. The kids are just absolutely loving the ramp at the moment. I asked them in there earlier what's the best part of the camp, and a lot of them are like the skating. They just love it, and yeah, the new ramp's a big hit, and it's so good because it transfers into surfing. Just to see the smile on their faces just makes me so happy.
You can find more great profiles on mysurf.tv. Well, for any more information on everything you've seen today, you can check out surfingaustralia.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Sam Squiers. We'll see you next time.
Let's do something incredible here on the inside.